This is the 2025 Toyota Sienna XSE, and in today's Vehicle Visionary video, we're going to tell you what advantages it has over the Honda Odyssey. Hey everybody, it's Tom from Vehicle Visionary. I hope you're having a great day. Today we're at Yoakum Toyota, and we're going to give you the high points, starting with a little bit of a walk around. I'm going to let Austin walk around and show you the exterior from a few different angles, because some of you have requested that, so we're trying to fulfill those requests. If you want to know more about this Sienna, check out the link down in the description of the video to the Yoakum Toyota website. And there are some things that have changed for 2025. One of the most significant, I would say, is the fact that you can now get a vacuum cleaner with these Siennas. If you want all-wheel drive, it is available on the top two trim levels, something that the Honda Odyssey does not offer that I know a lot of you would like to see. Something else that we have here is that it is an HEV, or hybrid electric vehicle. As we look here at the front end, probably be best to look right here because we have a little bit of a shadow, but we're going to have our LED headlights, and you can see where the turn signal is right there. Our daytime running lights in this area right here. Now you'll notice a little bit of a different look here on the front end, obviously compared to the Odyssey. Tell me what you think about it. Does it look better? Having the blue intertwined with the Toyota logo, the Toyota crown right there, that's how you know that it's a hybrid, that it's an HEV or hybrid electric vehicle. Now you're going to have plenty of airflow in through the grille right here. A nice large grille. It looks like a Toyota. You can see that we have the sensors, a couple of sensors here. So you're going to have a lot of great safety features that are going to help you out going down the road. Now this particular model is going to be front wheel drive. Let's talk about our tire and wheel setup. Your tread width is going to be 255. We're going to have a 50 series sidewall wrapped around the 20-inch wheels. Now, I'm not a big fan of a matte finish typically, but honestly here I think it works. This is not a gloss black or gloss finish wheel. The good thing about that is that it doesn't show damage as easily as a brighter, more glossy finish. So when you're going down the road, you're going to get little dings and chips and things. It's just the nature of driving. That's not going to show that as well. We will find gloss black with our mirror caps, and they're going to be heated and power adjustable side view mirrors. As Austin comes around to this side, you can see the blind spot monitoring is going to be there. And here is our remote. You can see everything that's on there. Lock, unlock. You can open and close your power sliding side doors, and you can use the panic button if you panic. Just don't use it because you can't get the doors to open or something like that. Just watch what we do in the video. And you can obviously hold this button down right here to open your power rear door. All of these doors, as far as the side doors here and the rear door, all have motion sensors that allow you to open them. It actually gives you instructions right here on how that works. And so the good thing to know about that is, number one, how it works, that you have to actually use kind of a quick motion, but you'll also see these kind of, I'll call them hash marks, I guess. It's just an indicator of where the motion sensor actually is. It's not here or back here, it's actually under here. So let me show you how this works. Pretty simple to deal with. So I'm just going to kick my foot underneath just like that. I say I'm going to, come on. There we go. Haven't done one of these in a long time, so you can laugh at me instead of with me in this particular case, but you can see how that opens right there. That works really well. And we'll have a combination of the mirror or the chrome finish and the body color on our door handles right here. Nice large windows, that's always a good thing, easy to see out of for everybody. And you can see the roof rails up here with the crossbars. That adds a lot of opportunities for cargo space. When the kids and Aunt Edna get unruly, you can stick them up there, no big deal. Just make sure you pay attention to the height of the bridges you drive under so they don't accidentally hit their head on it. You know, just be polite with them like that. Just something to have some fun with, I'm just kidding. Rear window wiper right here, and our rear roof spoiler. And you kind of have a bit of a shelf right here. So I guess if you just wanted to hang out here and talk to your friends, well, you can do that. Just something I noticed. I do like the design of the taillights right here. A very nice look. It looks like it should for a Toyota, just like other models that are out there. I do like the fact that we have the black with our Sienna logo right there. The color is perfect. It stands out. And not only your XSE logo right here so you know the trim level, but on the other side, we're going to have that HEV logo. So we know what's there as far as this being a hybrid electric vehicle. And we'll notice a little bit of a similar design just with this trim piece back here on the bumper that matches what we have on the grille. You will have some gloss black as well. Under the hood is the 2.5 liter four-cylinder. It makes 245 horsepower and 176 pounds-feet of torque. Now it is mated to a CVT. Try it before you judge it. You might not be as bothered by it as some. Some are, I know, droning and kind of can be a nuisance out there, but try it before you make any decisions. How about your MPGs? 36 city, 36 highway, and believe it or not, 36 combined. 2.8 gallons of gas for every 100 miles driven. Those are some pretty good numbers, I would say. I'm gonna let Austin show you the button. In fact, I'll let him push the button that opens the gas door back here. When you push that, it just literally pops open. And for those of you who are not fans of capless fuel fill, good news, you don't have that here. And when you fill up, this is an 18-gallon gas tank. You can tow up to 3,500 pounds with this particular model, and you also have a sensor here underneath the bumper. All you have to do is kick your foot under there and you can gain access to your rear cargo area. Here are your cargo numbers. We're looking at 33.5 up to 75.2 cubic feet. Now, one thing you might have noticed here, make sure Austin hits his head on the door. I did that on purpose, actually, so he would hit his head on the door. No, I really didn't. It was so I could show you this. If you need to change the height of this rear door, notice it's really low. Let's say we want to maximize that, but no matter where you want to set it, this is how you do it. Put it in the position you want and hold that button down and listen for the beeps. Hopefully you heard all those beeps. Now, just to show you that that does indeed work, I'm going to close that down. You can even see the button that you use right here to open and close it if you want to use that feature. Now I'm going to open that back up and you'll see that it opens all the way. That's very simple to do. I am going to move this out of the way. One of the features you can have right here if you need some extra space. Now, here's what we have. When you're not using, when these seats are in use, you can use this area down here for cargo capacity. I like that, kind of a multitasker of sorts, right? But you notice that we have instructions on the back of the seat right here. So it tells you what to do. In fact, it even has numbers here. So the first thing we're going to do is pull right here. You see the number 1 right there? So I'm going to pull on that. And then you really don't have to do anything else. You can use that number 2 right there if you need to recline or pull that down all the way, whatever you need to do. So I'm going to pull this all the way down and do it the right way. Let's do that. Come on. There we go. Now you know if you goof up and do the wrong thing, how you fix that. I did that on purpose, didn't I? No, not really. So we do have a lot of space back here, but here's one of the differences. Let me go open this door right here. One thing that is a little bit different, but I think it also has advantages. With the Honda Odyssey, you had the sliding middle row seats. You can slide back and forth. You can remove the middle seat right here. With these seats, in fact, let me get Austin's backpack there out of the way. With these seats right here, there's actually a release on the seat where I can move these way back, or I can move them way forward. In fact, I can even go further than that. I can also do this and move that up. That's how you're going to maximize your cargo capacity. So that is an advantage that actually makes this a great multitasker because this area is so wide open back here. Now you can't take these out the way you can with the Odyssey. Tell me what you think about that. Do you like it? Do you not? Maybe neutral in between instead of thumbs up or thumbs down, but you know what? You still have plenty of room back here for cargo space. And let me go ahead and put these seats back in place just so I can show you how easy that is to do. You're just going to move these like that. And then we use that number 2 right there, that strap, to recline the seats or just to get the seat backs in place. I'll move that one right there. These are actually very easy to use. The way they're built, they're not heavy. I like that, just the way it works. But you can see the recline that is built into these seats. That's a very common question that I receive. People like to know if the seats recline. Obviously these middle seats do, or the middle seats do, and these rear seats do. And we already had the seats moved up. You know how that works. So this way I'll show you how easy it is to gain access to the 3rd row. Now the advantage to these seats working as they do is that you can move them way forward or way back. And if you want to know how far these seats really recline, well, now you know I am sitting way back. But I also wanted to show you some of the different options for leg space. This seat is actually in a pretty decent location where the middle row passenger should really still be comfortable up there, still have some leg space, and I have a ton back here. They could even move that seat back just a little bit more, no big deal. I like the roof mounted air conditioning vents. That works. Instead of having it down here in this area, that just seems to be closer to the passenger's face, which seems to be what we like to have cool the most. That helps to cool us off for some reason. And you can see that we have plenty of room here or space to see out of the window. They're nice and large. I like that. And a couple of cup holders right here. Now, one thing that is interesting is that you have 2 USB ports, but there's 2 on this side and none on this side. Kind of interesting how that works. There are 2, but that means that if somebody wants to charge their phone in the back and they're sitting over here on the left-hand side, I guess the passenger over here is just going to have a cable kind of running across their lap. And as far as the middle row passengers go, well, to say that there's plenty of room, if there's nobody in the back seat, good Lord. I mean, that is just unbelievable leg space. So, maybe not the most conventional spot, but if there's nobody in the back row back there, well, you can do whatever you want to. Plus, it makes it easier for us to film. I like that. You have the shade right here, these manual shades that can be put in place if so desired. Let's see if I can get that back in place without wasting too much time. There we go. And the windows do open and close. They're power. There's a button right here to do that. You can also open and close the door with this release. Right up here is the control panel for the climate control for your rear seat passengers. So you can see what all is up there. I don't have that turned on so you can't see anything on the screen right there. But plenty of room, that's for sure. Also, the rear seat pockets right here. One on each seat. I like that. Instead of just having one on maybe the passenger seat, there's one on the driver and passenger seats. And a couple of cup holders down here. Kind of an interesting spot for that, but you know what? If I have any trouble reaching that, then I'll just move my seat up like that, and I can reach down and get my cup and move my seat back. And we also have a couple of USB ports right here. That's not a bad place, in my personal opinion, for those that seems to work. Also, right up here, again, those nicely placed roof-mounted air conditioning vents, that does a great job. And when the driver drops the hammer on 245 horsepower, there's the oh crap handle for the passengers who get scared. I also like, I'll let Austin show you his grab handle over there on that side. That is a huge grab handle. That definitely works. Nobody's going to miss that, whether you're short, tall, or in between. There's a spot for everybody, and then all I have to do to get out, push the release right there, grab that handle, and I can hop right out. If you come into Yoakum Toyota and you want to buy this Sienna, what is the sticker price? $50,879. Austin said he'll give you the $9 if you need it to get over the hump. So, yeah, he's shaking his head no now. Wait a minute, as much as I pay him, you think he'd be able to do that? Is he asking for a raise? That's his way of asking for a raise. Well, let's see what else you get for the price. Let's look at the passenger side door panel over there and see what you have. Whether you can go with the armrest that's up there where the window is or the more conventional position, they're both nice and large. Plenty of space with the door bin. You have the upper and the lower section, so a lot of storage capacity right there. And right there with the glove box, number one, we have plenty of space within. I'll let Austin open that and show you what's going on there. Plenty of room. Obviously, it's occupied with things, but you can see how much space is in there, I think. And I like what we have above right here because you have a little bit of a built-in shelf. That works. I like use of that space. And as we work our way across here, here is your wireless charging pad. So nice to know that it's there. That seems to be a good place. There's also a USB port right here. There's several USB ports throughout the interior. Let me grab the camera from Austin real quick so I can show you what's over here on the driver's side. Now, you saw some of the switches and controls we have over here, so I'm not going to say too much about that. But here's the controls for your power windows, or excuse me, power side view mirrors. Here are your power windows. That's right. Yes, I wanted to correct myself on that. If you want to lock the windows, there's how you do that, lock and unlock buttons. Right here, when you drop that lever, you can adjust the tilt and telescopically adjustable steering wheel. Make sure you re-lock that back in place before you take off down the road. And a nice look at the instrument display. There's a lot of information you can go through with your controls right here. If we want to go back, we can do that, and you can see some of the animation that goes on when you do that. And we can just arrow through whatever it is we want to get through different information. I'm not going to show everything that's there, but just to show you how that works, I'm just using the arrow right there. There's your back button, and I think you know what else is here. You can adjust the volume, voice commands right here. Everything for your cruise control right there. Pretty easy to deal with. And believe it or not, these Siennas, no matter the trim level you come with turn signal indicators. That way you can let people around you know what you're doing before you do it. I know that's a very novel idea, but I promise it is not hazardous to your health. Here's where you control your headlights and fog lights. Yes, I sarcastically transitioned right into that, didn't I? It's okay to laugh. And for your front and rear window wipers, there are your controls right there. And definitely no shortage of real estate with the center screen. And it's very easy to use. I like that. You have wireless Apple CarPlay and Android Auto. We also have all of our Bluetooth and devices right there, general notifications, Wi-Fi display. You can see everything that's here. I'm not going to go in and cover everything. I'll let you use the hunt and peck method to do that yourself. But just to show you a few of the different things that are here as far as your options go, things you can turn on and off. If you want your auto AC or your AC auto to come on, you can do it right there, have that come on, and that's easy to deal with. We'll go back here. You do have built-in navigation, but I won't be able to show that to you just because I don't have a plan started here to do that. But in case you were curious, there you go. We do have a rear view camera. Every vehicle you buy now is going to have that. So if anybody wonders, you don't have to ask about that now. It doesn't matter what you buy. As of 2020, everything will have that. Your trajectory lines right there, and very easy to see. I like the size of the screen because it is nice and large, but it's not too much to be intrusive, at least in my personal opinion. I do think the 90-degree angle is helpful because that's going to reduce glare. And you still have your good old-fashioned knob right there for turning the radio on and off and adjusting the volume. We have dual zone climate control here in the front seat area, and you also have your heated seats. You have the 3 stages of heated seats. You can turn those on and off and do whatever you want to. And your shifter right here, I think that works pretty well. Kind of a conventional style shifter for those of you who like that as opposed to a push button shifter. Here is a good option for you. As far as that goes, cup holders, couple of different options for that. And then you can see some of the options here as well. We also have a power parking brake. If you're going to go into EV mode, you can do that. And our drive modes, let's see what we can do with driving modes. We can show you what's there. Have the graphic that comes up. You have normal, you have sport, as you just saw right there, and then we can go down to eco. So every time you change modes, your Odyssey, or excuse me, let's get that right, your Sienna comes onto the screen in motion. It'd be kind of cool if it had a different color for different driving modes, but that's pretty neat. And right here, a little bit of space in front of your additional cup holders. There's a lot in the way of cup holders here, that's for sure. And then we also have the button right there to open our nice large center console. That's so big in there, I think I could get an echo if I said hello. But you can see what we have here is our USB ports are right here. Plenty of USB ports throughout the interior. And the armrests, if I can keep that down, are built into the center console. So depending on where your seat is set, well, you can adjust that accordingly. Now, the only difference there's 2 differences between the driver and the passenger seat. The driver's is fully adjustable. You can raise and lower the height, move it back and forth, and you have lumbar support. You can't move the passenger seat up and down like this, and it does not have lumbar support, but it is adjustable to a large degree. We also have a sunroof right here. Not panoramic, conventional size, but it is here. You can open and close it, tilts and slides open, and you'll manage all of that right here with the upper console. And that's going to be done via these buttons right here. These buttons on the outside, I think you already know what those are for, but that's for opening and closing your power side doors, and this is for your power tailgate. One more thing I do want to show real quick. Right here, this button it turns on the light in the rear. That's going to be over there on the right-hand side. I'll let Austin kind of give you the best view of that. But here's what's interesting. When I turn on that light, notice that the light over here is not on at the moment. We can turn that on like that if we wanted to, but it is off when you turn that switch off. When I turn on the reading lights or the map lights right here, then that light comes on as well. Just kind of something interesting that I noticed. And here's a little tip for you. If you go to open those power side doors and you only hear a beep and you hold the buttons down and nothing happens, well, here's what you need to do. Unlock the doors and then they'll open right up, just in case you ever run into that situation. Now you know the solution. I'm going to close that back up. And one more thing I wanted to show you right here, kind of a conversation mirror of sorts. It's not very big, but you know what? Depending on what's going on in the back seat, whether it's the kids or the adults, you can give them the angry eyes or you can give them the kind eyes, depending on the situation. And one more thing before we head out for our test drive, I like the presence of the pass-through right here. Very large, and a 12-volt power outlet right there if you need to power something or charge something, whatever the case is. But I like the use of the space right here instead of just leaving that closed off. All right, let's get out on the road for a quick test drive. Easy to see out of, I definitely like that. And it seems like the power is enough. I haven't really done anything crazy to try and get up to higher speeds. But as far as getting down the road and just easing into the gas pedal, it seemed to be no problem whatsoever. The road we're driving on right now, the speed limit is 55 miles per hour. I didn't have any trouble getting there whatsoever. I don't think anybody's buying a Sienna expecting to have a rocket ship at their control. So that shouldn't be a big surprise to most people. Overall, it's definitely enjoyable to drive. From the driver's seat, I definitely feel comfortable. I have plenty of space. I'm glad that I have a lot of adjustability built in here. Plenty of room, as we've talked about, for the second row passengers, and you can obviously configure things that way in such a way that everybody has plenty of leg room. That's always a good thing. Not as easy to do with some vehicles. I know with the Odyssey, since we're doing somewhat of a comparison here, and check out this person in the BMW. They just wanted a real close-up look at the front end of the Sienna we're driving. Did you notice that, Austin? That they just were too patient to drive to the dealership and see it. They just pulled out in front of us. Sorry, distracted by a bad driver. But you can move the middle row seats forward and back a little bit with the Odyssey, but definitely not as much here with the Sienna. And the technology, in my opinion, is not too hard to learn and use, so that seems to work pretty well. There are some things I'd like to be able to show you, but you have to have a plan to do that. And, well, we're not getting a plan since I'm not buying this Sienna. And it does seem to be fairly maneuverable for its size. That's always a good thing. It's a minivan, it's not a full-size van, so you would expect to be able to maneuver around somewhat well. Maybe not the tightest turning radius on the road, but you know what? For what it is, it seems to do a good job. The ride quality seems to be good. A good road trip vehicle, that's for sure. So if you're that person who's wondering, how is my family going to enjoy the road trip? Well, as we've shown you with all the configurability, it works well. Now we're going to get up to speed here. The speed limit on the road we're on, 60 miles an hour. I'm at about half throttle. We're a little over 60 miles an hour right there and going uphill, so not too bad. The thing I always like to know, if you're in the market for a Toyota Sienna, as far as the overall driving experience goes, what are the top 3 most important selling points for you? And there it is, the 2025 Toyota Sienna XSE HEV. The advantages that it has over the Honda Odyssey, well, you can get it in all-wheel drive, you can get it with a hybrid powertrain. There's a little bit of a different configurability with the rear seating area with the second and third row, and you can now get the vacuum and obviously the refrigerator. Things you've never had a refrigerator available with the Odyssey with the current generation, but you did have that vacuum, the Honda Vac, for quite a few years. Well, now we've got that here. So those are the advantages. Tell me what you think. Is that enough to sway you on buying the Sienna over the Odyssey? I'm curious to know what your thoughts are. I do want to say a special thanks to our friends here at Yoakum Toyota for loaning us this Sienna for the day so we could tell you all about it. And a special thanks to all of you for being kind enough to give us the opportunity to give you a vision for your next vehicle. If you enjoyed this video, please be sure to hit the like button. Make sure to share this video on your timelines on social media. And if you haven't subscribed just yet, please be sure to do so. That way you don't miss any future videos. If you'd like to learn about additional vehicles you may wish to consider purchasing, check out the video that's on the screen right now, and we'll see you there.